Welcome everybody to the Progressive Cast. I'm Alex.
I'm Collin.
And we are the Bearded Bards. We're here today on our very first podcast to bring out the Obama administration in our own way. It's the Obama Sunset episode, if you will.
Thanks, Obama.
Thank you very much, Obama. And I don't mean that meme and ironically. Also, thank you, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
We should talk about that later.
Thank you, Joe Biden, more than thank you, Obama. He's a funny guy.
The memes, man.
The memes. So many memes.
So, what we want to do today for the inaugural Progressive Cast on the Bearded Bards is we've got a list of some things that we think Obama did really well, some things that we think maybe are mixed road, and some things that we think Obama sucked at. And we're just going to go through, and we're going to talk about them, and it's probably going to get a little bit heated. But yeah. Want to say anything before we start, Collin?
Not really. Let's just get into it.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
So,
you want to start with the goods?
Yeah, we're going to start with the goods. So we got the immigration executive order.
State your views first, because we're going to differ on the very first one.
I mean, path to citizenship, I think that's a good thing. That's basically all it is. I mean,
I am middle of the road on this because, yes, people that are here should have been given the opportunity to be citizens before being deported. In general, however, I am against illegal immigration. I'm against people overstaying their visas. I'm not necessarily against people climbing over walls, but that's for sort of like personal anger reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad that he gave these people a chance to be citizens. However, the fact that they were... See, I sound like an asshole.
Well, I mean, maybe you are.
Maybe I am. But I'm isolationist, and we'll probably see this as we go through.
All right. Fought the Keystone XL pipeline.
No complaints whatsoever. Good job, Obama.
Blanket good. All right. So he banned offshore oil drilling in the Arctic Ocean and a large part of the Atlantic Ocean.
This is great, and I think this is great for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
First off,
I think it's especially great how he did it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay, so he did it in such a way under a certain law.
I'm
I'm
forgetting as well, but that's why we have the internet.
Basically, it makes it so he can do this, and then Trump can't very easily undo it.
Yeah, it's from a 2008 law. You want to search because I can't really use your mouse very well. It's from a 2008 law that had something to do with something completely different, and the way that the executive order and the ban on offshore drilling was done
was Politico.
Oh, Politico. Thank you. It prevented anybody from going back and from stopping it. Section 12A of the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act of 1953, and he used it to bar drilling in the
Arctic Ocean and a large part of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, science.
Yeah.
Which
that's my field.
It's not mine. You want to talk about English lit? You want to talk about burritos, man? Let's do it.
I mean, we can English lit later. Okay.
So yeah, great on Obama for doing that. Fantastic the way that he did it. And while Donald Trump will do what Donald Trump does, it'll be very hard for him to reverse this.
Back to the Keystone XL. Also blocked Apple.
Yeah. He blocked Apple.
Okay.
Air quotes flying that you can't see.
Yeah. So he prevented them from getting one of their permits.
Not exactly. I believe that he mandated one of the permits that they should have had to get done before they could drill any further.
Yeah, they had to do a
environmental impact study.
Yeah, environmental impact study. Look, he should have done something earlier. He could have done more, but he did something, and he didn't have to. So
it's the same beef.
That's why I put in the good.
It's the same beef and the same sort of like shaky feelings I get for Elizabeth Warren. Now, these people are supposed to be progressives, and obviously, we'll talk. Obama's not a progressive, but they're supposed to be progressives. At least that's how they ran, and waited months with a lot of human suffering on the part of the water protectors before he did anything. And what he did was insufficient and will probably end up having no impact whatsoever other than delaying it for a month or so.
Yeah. Moving on, he cut the deficit from $1.4 trillion to $600 billion.
Could have brought it down to zero. We spend $44 trillion on defense budgets, most of which we don't need, but like positives?
Yeah, I mean, he more than halved it, so that's a big deal.
You're right. It's a huge deal. I guess
he cut $800 billion out of the deficit.
Ah, man. I'm so tired of incremental change when there are such big problems that sometimes it's hard for me to see when things go really well.
We're going to get into later things that he could have done cutting out more of the deficit. But
you're right. I shouldn't blow my whole load right
now. Cut taxes on small businesses.
Yay.
Yeah. That's. He ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Yay.
Yeah.
What a restrictive piece of legislation that you can be.
Who cares, really?
You can be gay in the Army, but like, I don't want to talk about it because it's gonna make the barracks feel weird.
I've heard stories from people in the Army. I don't think it's gonna make them feel that weird.
Moving on. I don't even want to get into that, Collin.
He freed thousands of nonviolent drug offenders.
Yay.
Yay. Should have done more. Wish he did more. But he did a lot.
I mean, Kyle from Secular Talk, I think, said it best, saying that you could not only free all of the nonviolent drug offenders, but you at the federal level, but you could do it at the states by threatening to cut funding. And he probably should have done this way sooner.
Yeah.
I guess. But I guess after...
He would have gotten a much better grade from me, but we're gonna get into that later, too. So, we're going to talk about things he could have done better in a bit. The Iran deal. I don't think anyone could have gotten a better deal than Obama.
I mean, we could have kept their money.
we could have kept their money that we took from them.
Yeah, for those that don't really understand the way the Iran deal worked, to sum it up, and it's like, this is way oversimplifying things. We had taken a bunch of money from Iran, and in order to prevent them from making nuclear bombs, like the harbingers of the apocalypse, we just gave that money back. It wasn't ours. We took it illegally, and then we gave it back, and now they're not making nukes.
Yeah, and we also have people who are looking over their shoulder 24/7, making sure they're not making nukes.
Are they?
But that's in jeopardy now.
Well, everything...
Because our Congress is full of idiots.
Actual life is in jeopardy right now, but we've got another episode.
Yep. The Cuba deal.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, we were shitting on Cuba for so long for no reason. Like, yeah, they had a communist dictator, and we don't really like that, but, like, Cuba is a country... And they have a lot to offer. They have like a vaccine for a certain kind of cancer that we weren't getting. And we're still, I don't think we're getting it yet, but like we're on the way to getting it. I think it's like a lung cancer, I think.
You forget that Congress, including Democrats, just shot down a bill to make medicine cheaper by importing it from Canada.
Yeah, but like our drug companies now, they can get that and charge $500,000 for it now. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to price gouge the fuck out of it.
There are people paying over $700 for EpiPens, and I don't trust pharmaceutical companies when it comes to the government.
It makes me sad. All right, let's move on from the sadness. The GM bailout.
I hated this when it happened.
I hated it when it happened too, but then everything turned out fine.
It was the only bailout I've ever seen that actually worked, and it was the right thing to do. And I mean, I think I was like 15 when it happened, and I was very angry about it then because I had never gotten a bailout, and I had to deal with things like high school and drama.
Yeah, well, you were 15. That means I was like 11.
Yeah.
So I was mostly upset with it because our parents were upset with it. Their parents were upset with it for the wrong reasons, and they're still upset with it.
True.
So,
True.
The Paris Agreement. My favorite thing that's going to be destroyed.
It's so nice. It's like building a Lego castle and then having somebody kick it over.
Should have made that law. Yeah, Paris Agreement is just most of the world's biggest nations coming together saying, hey, we're going to do our best to prevent climate change from happening anymore.
And Trumpzilla. Gonna knock that one right down. In fact, I think already has.
He's basically already said, that's not.
It's been 9 hours and 7 minutes since this whole ordeal really truly started, and he's already like destroyed. Just like, saving the environment, making Earth livable in 100 years, and all that fun stuff.
All right, we got the stimulus package.
Meh.
It worked.
Yeah, but where did most of that money end up going anyway?
That's a relevant critique, but
the word stimulus package is just dirty to me because I don't trust capitalists to give away money or to create new jobs when money is delivered on their doorsteps. It helped, and it really truly saved jobs, kept factories open in places, but in other places it bought yachts and fancy cars, and I'm very meh on giving rich people money.
Okay, so he created 12 million private sector jobs.
Most of those jobs are low paying.
Yeah, most of those jobs are not great jobs, but they are jobs nonetheless.
Jobs that I don't think will exist in 4 years.
Jobs that I can basically guarantee you won't exist in 4 years.
So, yay to jobs, but not the type of jobs that a progressive or somebody who ran on progressive ideals when running for president twice should have been focusing on.
Well, he prevented the Depression.
True.
He came in right before the market crash, and he pulled us out of it
I'm going to sound like an old person here. When I started driving, gas prices were like $3.78 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
And driving in from Michigan today, gas prices were $2.03. So thank you, Obama.
Yes, thanks, Obama.
Literally could not do my job if gas cost that much.
UN condemnation of illegal Israeli settlements.
Yay, but did he really have anything to do with that, or is that just something that kind of happened while he was around?
If I am remembering correctly, he did have something to do with that. He pushed for it.
Good, thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know about that.
And major changes that are also going to be destroyed to the EPA.
I mean, we just put Rick Perry in charge of the EPA.
Yeah, well, the EPA, it's EP fucked.
It's very EP fucked. I'm surprised at a few of the things.
It's EPF'd in the A.
I'm surprised. No, never again. I'm going to have to ask you to stop. I'm surprised about the things that you skipped over on the list because they just happen to be the things that I highlighted as questionable. You didn't want to talk about them?
I'm coming back to them.
Oh, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we got to talk about them.
Let's.
Did those get moved to maybe?
Those got moved to we're going to talk about them later.
Okay. Deal.
Later is now.
Later is now. It's always later is always now if you think about it.
That's pretty fucking deep.
Did have a philosophy behind there.
Bin Laden was killed under him. Now I'm not for the death penalty, but I cheered when he died.
There are about 3 people that I feel like have actually needed the penalty of death in the entire world, and yes, he is one of them. While I still probably would feel a little bit better if he was rotting in a jail somewhere instead of dead. I'm okay with that one. The reason that I pointed that out from your original list is that, of course, it was a great thing when it happened, and it unified a nation that had been split since the terrorist attacks. But you're telling me George Bush wouldn't have killed Bin Laden? George Bush would have made up a story saying, "I killed him myself. I fired the gun that killed Bin Laden. I was out in the field with the SEALs. They dropped me in. I shot him." Well, actually, Dick Cheney probably shot him in the foot first. But
Dick Cheney shot him in the dick.
No. I'm going to also ask you to stop. But
no, I think that's something Dick Cheney would do. I think Dick Cheney would shoot someone in the dick.
Dick Cheney is one of those other three people, to be fair. And then the last one's Orange, but we can talk about that a little bit later.
You don't think Hitler deserved the death penalty?
Hitler wasn't alive in my lifetime.
All right, so
I wouldn't have ever thought that Hitler needed to die because he was dead. Well before I was born. Almost 50 years.
All right. He raised taxes on people making more than $400,000 a year.
And then he also elevated the amount of exemptions that you could claim if you were that rich. Obviously, you could claim them if you're poor, but you never actually have them. So I believe, if I'm correct, and I consent to being wrong, roast me in the comments. I'm going to read them. It's going to make me sad. But I don't believe that the rich are being taxed more than they were previously. I just think it looks like it.
Yeah, anything you have to say, positive or negative, leave it in the comments. We will read them. However, there probably will not be any.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to the 1.6 person that is watching this. I was in between 1 or 2 that would ever see this, so I'm going to go with 1.6. And we don't count, obviously, because we're going to have to listen to this to edit anything out, so...
If you're listening to this, I would guess it is post 2018.
You think by 2018 we'll have a viewer? That's like really nice of you.
I think by 2018 we will have at least one viewer,
possibly,
who cares enough to come back and look at what we had to say about Obama.
Huh? You think people will be watching that? I mean, to shamelessly plug somebody that I have literally never met in my life and that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. When I discovered Achievement Hunter, I went and I watched the old Minecraft Let's Plays. You don't think that anybody that would watch this would go back, or you just think we'll have one viewer?
It's a politics podcast. It kind of has more to do with like current things.
It's not just politics. We're going to talk about science and...
primarily politics.
This one is
politics.
And we'll probably talk a lot about politics. But I want to talk about...
We're getting off topic again.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, give me a list.
Snap back. Push to bring back stealth some research.
Again, I just don't know enough about this to really comment on it.
Okay. Here's the basic rundown. George W. Bush banned it. He unbanned it.
Yay.
Yeah. That's basically all you really need to know. Gay marriage. Yes, it was the Supreme Court. However, 2 people on the Supreme Court at the time were his appointees, and also he supported it from the beginning.
That's true. Another point that I thought of, because that was the point that I was kind of arguing on with you a little bit on, is that any decent human being would be shocked as to why this hadn't already happened. I don't think we should give him credit for something that was,
Well, there's things on the bad things list that you would think any good human being would have done, and he didn't, so...
Yup, you're right.
And he increased the minimum for overtime.
This one sort of hits personally, and the fact that I want to talk about it so much is that his executive order was brilliant. And I just hit the microphone, so that was what that was. His executive order was brilliant, and the way it was presented, the idea behind it was great, and it would have, affected millions of people working long hours for very low salary wages. And
that didn't really happen.
Yeah, I mean, I work for a company that it would have affected quite a lot, and there was actual reshuffling of salaries that happened, which is great. The company I work for reshuffled salaries around to make sure that people who would be affected by this were taken care of well, and those stay to this day. And about a week and a half after everything had been reshuffled and taken care of, there was a memo from somebody very high up saying, actually, this just got shut down and it'll never be a thing, so we're glad that we did it and we feel like it's the right thing to do, but it's not illegal for us to not, technically.
Alright, so that's the good list. We're about 20 minutes in, and we've just talked about good things so far. I'm feeling alright about Obama. Let's fuck that up a bit.
Yep, let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and make everybody else seem good in comparison.
We have multiple water crises going on in the nation right now that he has done effectively nothing about.
I work very close to Flint, Michigan, and you probably don't know this because you don't know Michigan like I now do because I work there. I know people that have lived in Flint, and it's actually so bad there that I found out earlier today there are trucks that bring in gallon bottles of water, and they're sold for about $1 a gallon in some cases, and that's how people shower.
Yeah.
In the richest country in the world.
I actually have a friend who commutes to school from Michigan, and he lives by Flint. So he's told me.
He lives by Flint, and he commutes to Toledo?
Yeah.
What a guy.
It's cheaper for him that way.
Yeah, we can talk about something on the list like college expense later.
We actually are going to. That's on my bad things list.
Wow, you got my foreshadowing.
Yep.
But yeah, and it's happening all over the country in, pocket cities where corrupt governments went, well, we don't need to ship in the clean water. We'll just take it from these highly dangerous places, not filter it enough, not do the testing, and whatever happens. We don't really need to protect people's lives or anything, right?
All right, moving on. This one hits a bit close to home for me, being an engineering major. The Society of Civil Engineers gives our infrastructure a grade of D.
Richest country in the world, guys.
Richest country in the world.
And Obama has done nothing about it. In fact, spending for the past 8 years on infrastructure has been an all-time low. And that's part of the reason why Agent Orange was elected president.
Yep, because he said he was going to do it. I don't think anyone actually believes him.
I do.
Okay, people believe him, but those people are not smart people.
You're calling me a not smart person?
You believe he's actually going to spend on infrastructure?
I have reasons to believe.
I have no reason to give him the benefit of the doubt on anything yet. I gave him the benefit of the doubt on one thing, and that was that he was going to disrupt the establishment, and then he said, "Hey, establishment, welcome to the White House."
We have a podcast that's probably right underneath this video that you can watch all about tiny hands.
Yep.
Because we're getting off topic, as we do.
All right. The war on drugs, and I said especially marijuana, because goddamn, this shit should be legal.
This is, probably the most confusing thing that Obama did/didn't do. It's very, in my opinion, conservative Republican to try to regulate what people put in their bodies. And it's very obvious that the entire nation is okay with marijuana being legal, either because of personal freedom or because of taxation and regulation. And yet, here he is doing nothing.
Under his presidency, how many states have legalized it now?
7, but I'm just guessing.
I thought it was 8.
It might be. Like I said, I'm just guessing.
And DC. I believe DC has done it too.
No, in fact, I found out DC did not.
Oh, DC did not.
Yeah, because there's an event that went on earlier today. It was a lighted up party, and it was very, very illegal, and people were trying very hard to find out where it was.
All right. Yeah, marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug. What's the deal with that, Obama?
Thanks, Obama, because
at any point you could have been like, "Hey, that's not a Schedule 1 drug anymore. We're just not doing it."
It obviously shouldn't even be a schedule drug.
No.
Which, for those who don't know, and again, you can roast me in the comments on the previous thing if DC has legal weed. I'll take it. But schedule is basically how much time you can serve for abusing it and how much money goes into researching and preventing it.
It is on the same level as heroin and crystal meth. And having grown up in north central Ohio, that's in one of the biggest heroin epidemics in the country right now, it's offensive to me that
it's honestly comical that somebody would think
that it's on the same level legally as heroin. I know people who have died because of heroin.
and yet you can't be smoking weed.
Yeah. 0 people have ever overdosed on weed.
Well, that's scientifically proven by Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. It's scientifically proven by lots of people, but Snoop Dogg is the most famous.
We should be looking to Snoop Dogg for guidance on our marijuana policy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he would probably legislate that some people had to smoke weed. Might make the country a better place if,
It might. It might.
Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus were forced to smoke weed.
Let's get pissed off a little bit, because the next 4 things I'm pretty pissed about. TPP.
What the fuck?
Why? There is a country in the TPP that, quote, tolerates slavery, and you're rewarding them for it. Why? Just why?
I don't even think you have to go that far away from morality to find really great reasons that the TPP shouldn't exist.
I mean, you can go to the other trade deals that we've done. Now, I put TPP, he's done a couple trade deals, and none of them are good.
Is it possible for a trade deal to be good?
Yeah. You can have a mutually beneficial trade deal. Trade deals exist because, it helps the United States keep power. It gives us leverage over other countries. The reason trade deals exist is because then other countries develop a dependence on us being the power. The United States consumes 1/3 of the world's resources. If you're going to sell something, you have to sell to the United States, basically. And that's been enforced by trade deals. So, yeah, it gives us economic power. It gives us leverage in negotiations. But at what cost? It fucks over the American people.
What are your thoughts on tariffs?
I think, why not? I think tariffs, especially on certain things, we need to tax things.
Yeah, that's
that's how the government's run. So,
I'll take it a step further than you. It's pretty much why the hell not. I don't think that there's a good reason to ever not have tariffs for goods. When Trump said 35%, you leave the country and I put a 35% tariff on you.
Yeah,
I would have hugged him. That was great.
Yeah,
I know it's not happening, but that's fantastic to me. I think we should tax everything that comes into the country to promote American jobs, because I don't even care if we lose things like Apple products. We will be able to manufacture better products anyway. We should stop companies from leaving or from manufacturing other people's turf.
Yeah. So, we are progressives. We hate Donald Trump. Just to clarify, that doesn't mean we won't give him credit when he does something good. That's something that he said he was going to do, that let's hope to God he does. Because if a company does go overseas because it's cheaper and then he makes it more expensive for them, or he threatens to make it more expensive. Now, we've seen what he did with Carrier, and that's not at all what he did.
Slight ray of hope. That was his vice president's backyard, and he was not yet the president, so we'll see what happens in the future.
We'll see what happens, but...
Because the state funding, Mike Pence could already do.
Yeah. So, moving on. Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Guantanamo Bay, he literally could have, the first day he was in office, signed a paper that said Guantanamo Bay officially closed. And no one could have done anything about it.
I'm not even against jailing terrorists.
I'm not against jailing terrorists. I am against extrajudicial prisons that torture people.
Yeah, I mean, I think any sane person would be. Then again,
Guantanamo Bay was created extrajudicially. he could have, at any point, destroyed it extrajudicially. And we now know most of the people in Guantanamo Bay were innocent.
Not terrorists, just enemies of the people that we paid for terrorists. Also, a little strange, we paid money for terrorists.
Yeah, we paid money to foreign governments to send us Al-Qaeda. And they just sent us people they didn't like.
I mean...
There was a German guy with no connection.
If they were terrorists, I still have a problem with us paying money for terrorists. How far down your torture porn rabbit hole do you have to go to pay to torture somebody?
Yeah, dude, they do have porn of that, don't they?
I was using it as a phrase, and I don't know what you're into.
I'm not into that.
Rule 34. And leave it at that.
All right. So we listed the GM bailout under good things. Wall Street bailout, terrible thing.
Back to what I was getting at. Here, sir, I'd love to give you $500 million in the hopes that you'll use it to save your bank and not to buy a super yacht and a jet and, like, a golden bathroom and everything that you've ever wanted.
You could get a golden shower just like Trump's.
We're going to talk about that in another podcast.
Yep. So, yeah, the Wall Street bailout. Bankers basically screwed over the American people, bet against mortgages that they knew they were going to fail, sold mortgages to people who they knew couldn't afford them, and crashed the market. And the United States government's like, here, take money, make it right again. That money should have gone to the American people.
I think that
should have gone to the people whose money was lost in the
I don't even think that money should have been recirculated. The way I would have taken that is I would have regulated stricter and taxed the rich more. Most of the problems that I see in the country could be solved by increasing the taxes on the rich, though. So,
all right.
Oh, and full disclosure, I am poor.
Oh, we're both broke. I'm a broke college kid.
And I am just broke.
Yeah, you're a college dropout.
True. We don't need to talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. Money was tight.
All right. He did not ban, and he did not prosecute people who did it. It's torture.
In my opinion, if you do not stand against torture, you should be judged as if you were the one actually committing the torture.
I don't know if I would go that far.
Yeah, I'm a mega liberal.
Well, I would certainly say I am too, but that's, there are people who just don't fully understand torture, who are like, yeah, do it. They're just, I would not say that they are guilty of torture.
Do you think that Barack Obama does not know the full scope?
No, I know Barack Obama knows the full scope, and I know he did nothing about it. I'm not saying that Barack Obama isn't guilty. I'm saying that I wouldn't say blanket, if you do not stand against it, you're guilty.
Fair. Uneducation's a problem. I'll give you that one. Maybe there are people that don't stand against torture that are not guilty of it, but Barack Obama is in my book, and that's unforgivable.
And just a reminder, there was 2 years where he had a supermajority. So he could have done any of these things.
And it's not like if you give
even when he didn't have a supermajority, he could have done any of these things, just playing politics.
Or executive orders, which he used very well, but not nearly enough.
We'll talk about the next guy's executive orders in the next podcast.
Click below.
Click below. Keep watching. Love those watch times.
Even better, if you would give us a like right in the middle of the video. I promise I'll never ask for it at the end. He might.
Yeah. Tell all your friends.
If you're
even the ones that are uber conservative, because we would love their hate.
In fact, we'd love to talk to actual conservatives because that's crazy. People actually exist that are conservative.
Yeah. You should have seen the Make America Great hats again on campus today.
How many people do you think were wearing those? We're getting off topic, but I believe people were wearing those ironically today.
There was one guy who was definitely not.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So
InfoWars sticker on his laptop.
So, Obama did nothing to increase the minimum wage to a living wage. I read your list.
Yeah, you read my list. That's the next thing on the list. Yeah, should have done that. Just should have done it. No excuse.
I'll go back to this quite a lot. If you are truly supposed to be the representative of the American people in the executive branch, or in any branch, honestly, if you are an elected official, you would think that you would do maybe your job title and represent the people.
Yeah.
And
I would think that.
People overwhelmingly support things like increasing the minimum wage to a living wage. And not only that, but you can normally make an argument that some things people support can't be done because of, economic costs that are unforeseen by people like me who don't understand the economy. But there have been tests done in places like Seattle where the minimum wage has been $15. And even small businesses and...
I'm just going to say, I took one semester of microeconomics, and I know that the minimum wage should have been increased.
Yeah, but...
And I can support it.
It's a very common political tactic to say, no, you guys don't actually understand. Let the adults handle it. We'll take care of you, in order to get rid of things that the American people want. But there are stories of people in Seattle that own small businesses or that own fast food chains even saying that they've never seen business better because if you increase the minimum wage, more people have money to spend, and therefore more people spend money.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well, also, if you keep the minimum wage low, going off the fast food workers, they'll probably eat better. Probably won't eat as much fast food if you increase the minimum wage more.
Yeah, you're right. But to be fair, I mean, like, the increased spending affects everybody in a positive way, unless you have to pay those wages. And I'm gonna assume that our audience of 1 to 2 is not, the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. And
if you are, congratulations. Contact us.
We are taking donations. We don't have a Patreon account yet, but I'm sure we could set something up.
Yeah. I got a PayPal.
But no, I mean, most people in America are not super wealthy owning companies, and therefore most people in America would benefit from an increase in the minimum wage. It would not only increase how much minimum wage jobs gets paid, but it would increase all wages for all workers, because if a fast food worker that just started makes $15 an hour, what do you think an experienced auto worker is going to make?
Like manufacturing or
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Or a race car driver. We can talk about NASCAR.
I didn't know if you want to be like auto manufacturer, like auto repair.
Any of them.
Okay.
Their wages will increase if the minimum wage increases.
Yeah.
More people will have a bigger share of the wealth in America, and since we have the biggest wealth inequality in the civilized world.
Yeah. It's like what, 30-something people have more wealth than the bottom half of the world.
I think it's 8.
8 now?
I think there was a think tank episode that said 8 people have more wealth.
8 people. Okay, I knew there was an update, but I didn't know it was that big of an update.
I mean, also Mark Zuckerberg climbed into it, which that guy. Talk about a success story. I'm just, more than anything, I'm proud that somebody with talent that came from a lower standing in life was able to do that.
I mean, a lot of the people who are in that top 8, though, this is not representative of most wealthy people, but a lot of the richest people in the world have said that they're going to donate most of their fortunes when they die. Like Bill Gates said, like 95% of his fortune's going to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Bill Gates gives away more than half of what he makes from Microsoft, and it's still...
Bill Gates gives away more money than I'll see in my life.
On Tuesday.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure in the past 5 minutes he's given more money than I have in my bank account.
and will have in your bank account for the next 10 years, most likely. That man, patron saint of charity. If we're gonna saint people as atheists, I would be willing to give that to Bill Gates. But he's given away more than half of what he's made, and he is still in the top 8 richest people in the world.
All right. Moving on. Done nothing to lower the cost of college. College is fucking expensive.
I got a few things to say to you about that, but I mean, you're basic free ride, man.
I'm basic free ride because I'm smart.
Well, to put
I'm like a smart person.
To put you have words.
To quote Donald Trump.
You have the best words. but I mean,
my SAT score is tremendous.
But he's got a point. It's part of the reason why I have not yet completed college. Is that something that in most other countries that are, industrialized, civilized, and wealthy is a given.
Yeah.
We struggle for it, and great college schools are left to the incredibly gifted or the incredibly elite, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, let's not spend too much time on college. We're going to come back to college in a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
So, gave Israel $38 million and weapons. I'm going full disclosure. I think we should respect Israel, and we should respect them long enough to get a two-state deal and get Israel the hell away from Palestine, because come on, man.
From everything that I understand and I read, I am absolutely for a two-state deal. A two-state deal that gives all of Jerusalem to Palestine and says you can go fuck off, Israel, because the way that they handle their business is just...
Oh, yeah. Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, you're not listening to this. But if you are, you're a piece of shit person. You are setting up illegal settlements in not your territory. You say it's your territory.
They would be legal if it was in his territory, to be fair.
Yes.
They have to be illegal. They have to be outside of his territory to be illegal, I guess.
Well, according to him, it is his territory.
That's because he's an idiot.
Yeah. But, illegal occupation, just stop. Just let Palestine be their own state and just fuck the fuck off.
Find them a deserted island in the middle of nowhere. Let the people stay, but send all of the government officials and all of the leaders to an island and say, this is Palestine's territory now, because you ruined it for yourself.
All right. On with the funding. Saudi Arabia gave them money, gave them weapons. They're also a shit country.
It's like, one day, we hate Saudi Arabia, and we're going to bomb them. Because they suck, and because we want their oil. And then the next day, we love Saudi Arabia, and we're going to give them a lot of money and weapons so that they can help us fight ISIS. And then another day, we fucking hate Saudi Arabia, guys. We want your oil, and you haven't given us. And then the next day, you're our allies. We love you. Please kill ISIS.
Yeah, I'll make this real simple. All right. So, any federal government official, walk up to Trump, here's the deal. All right. Green energy, we don't have to depend on Saudi Arabia. We can say, hey, Saudi Arabia, fuck the fuck off. I've been saying fuck the fuck off.
I like it.
I know. And just shut down all funding to them. They've been called, rightfully so, an ISIS that made it. They have the same ideology as ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Except they have sway in the UN for some unforeseen reason.
Unforeseen?
That's the wrong use of that word. But
unless you're trying to use unforeseen as has oil, It's the wrongs.
Yeah, well...
They have sway in the UN because has oil.
Because has oil, yeah. I mean, just cut our dependence on oil. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Science is there. We can... Like, okay,
Do
it's
you
not
know?
it's not fully there yet to where we can completely replace our grid with green energy, but if we were to give money to the right scientists, we could, in a not long time, have a fully green country, self-sufficient.
2 points. First off, give half of the military defense budget to a group headed by Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye. And let's just see what happens. Part 2.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Part 2. Do you know that there is something called clean coal?
I keep hearing about that. And, I did some searches. And it turns out there's actually not.
Strange, but the President of the United States said it.
And the Vice President, but like...
Okay, the Vice President wants to electroshock you out of being gay. Which, what he doesn't know is I'm super into it.
Yes, Teddy, please.
Wow. Okay, we're straying far off topic. Give me another thing.
We are weird. We are weird people. Drone strikes.
No!
Stop
Don't do it! Literally, just because you have the technology doesn't mean people need to die.
Look, drones are cool.
And they seem fun to play with.
Espionage and shit. For bombing people? No. Why?
Okay, maybe missing the point of the argument saying that we shouldn't be drone striking people. Let's just, stop it. Let's not bomb people.
Yeah, let's just not bomb people.
That's a great plan.
Let's stop killing people that we don't need to kill. Like, I get it. You track down the leader of ISIS, and you're like, he is in this house, and the only people with him are other leaders of ISIS. Yeah, drop a bomb. I'm not saying don't, but
let's make an ISIS parking lot. Let's do it.
I don't know.
Of the leaders, if you found that house could become a parking lot.
Yeah, but we're killing so many innocent civilians, and you're just helping them. Like, yeah, I get it. You want to kill ISIS, but when you also kill, this innocent guy's nephew who has nothing to do with it...
That innocent guy might become part of ISIS.
That innocent guy might be like, hey, you know what? They killed my fucking 9-year-old nephew. I want my revenge. And then you know what? Then you have a bigger problem. Because that 9-year-old, he was...
Yeah, but off track. If ISIS exists and becomes bigger, you know what you get to do? Buy more bombs.
Yeah, let's get that military-industrial complex going. Fuck what Eisenhower said.
I mean, they've pretty much shat on all of the progressive leaders of any time, anywhere.
All right. Moving on. Iraq and Afghanistan. Get the fuck out. Why? Come on.
They left, or at least said they left, for about 16 minutes. That was pretty cool.
16 whole minutes, and then they're like, turn the boat around.
Just get back on the planes, guys. We gotta go back.
Yep.
We need to go back.
They're... they were just chilling on their aircraft carrier, and then Obama's like, "Hey guys, go back.
We got the press releases. We're good to go back, and we can kill people for oil again." 7 interventions. Is that what I'm reading?
We are currently in 7 interventions. We were in 2 when Obama took office. We are in 7 now.
Well, yeah, because we bought all those bombs. We got to use them somewhere.
We ran out of bombs.
In Syria, we ran out of bombs.
In Syria, we ran out of bombs, which is insane.
That might have been because we sent bombs to Yemen to bomb them because we had bombs. And we underestimated.
Okay, but wait. Legitimate question here. Why are we bombing Yemen?
Because we had bombs. And so we can buy more bombs. Because we want to buy bombs, Collin. You don't understand. The government doesn't function unless we buy bombs.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah, let's get away from that one.
Done nothing to get money out of politics.
That's because he's benefiting from money being in politics.
Here's the thing, though. He had that whole second term where he's like, hey, after this, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, not true, because he's still...
I would think that if you were benefiting from money in politics, but you were running as progressive, when you are in your second term as the president of the United States, after that, you're not going to run for office again. Just get money out of politics.
You're right. He is on retirement now, but the whole point is he's still going to be a spokesperson from the Democratic Party because a lot of people
he's going to be like a lobbyist or something, but...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love him, and they're going to give him more money to keep this going. They're probably just going to give him money so that he'll say nice things about companies because he's got sway. I mean, he's a very popular president.
Maybe for the wrong reasons, though.
Oh, absolutely for the wrong reasons.
All right. And now we are to the things that you highlighted in the bad things category. He broke the deportation record.
Again, I believe that if people are here illegally, it's not really a problem to follow the law, and I don't like illegal immigrants. I think it should have been easier to get visas. I think it should have been easier to become citizens. I'm just, I can't sit here and say that as an executive, right, him breaking the deportation record is necessarily a terrible thing, and that might just be because I'm here illegally.
Okay, I'm doing a quick search here.
Yeah, I know, and you're using your phone when we have a computer with two screens.
I know, but you can hear the keyboard and everything when I type.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the keyboard. I don't know if I did something really terrible there.
Why did you do that?
I don't know, but it made
Why did you hit the down arrow 10 times?
It made a cool noise. It's fine. I just want to prove you could hear the keyboard. And
I'm trying to find like a...
I probably deserve to be roasted for this. I don't think that this is nearly the worst thing that he did. And I'm not going to fight you that people should be allowed to come to America. I don't know exactly
Between 2009 and 2015, it was 2.5 million people.
Okay.
In that, I'm sure there was a sizable number of people who were just in the country, not really doing anything wrong. I know there's one person who... I just heard this story, like, the other day. So, like... she was caught with like an ecstasy pill. She moved here with her parents before she could even speak, and she was caught with an ecstasy pill. And he tried to deport her for years, and the only reason she wasn't deported was because her country of birth wouldn't take her back.
See, different. If you are a child, right, and I don't know really where to draw the line, so let's just...
She was like 20.
When she came?
No, when she came, she was like, I think she was just a couple months old.
I don't care if you draw the line at like 18. But if you are a child, you should be allowed to just come here, and that shouldn't be a problem. Because what bad things... like, generally speaking, if somebody sends their kid to America for a better life, I'm willing to take that. I'm just saying that, like, if you don't renew your visa, you broke the law. And if the punishment for breaking the law is deportation, sure. I don't necessarily agree with that law. I just don't think that's the worst thing he's done.
All right, and did nothing for gun reform.
Yeah, I mean,
should have.
I don't think that there was ever a chance that he was going to do anything for gun reform.
Well, all right. Here's the deal. Message to Alex Jones.
Oh,
where are the FEMA camps? And why do people still have guns? Because that was, as soon as Obama was elected, you were telling everyone...
FEMA camps! There's going to be FEMA camps! They're gonna...
Don't yell!
It's fun, though. I'm being Alex Jones.
I know, you're being Alex Jones, but it's... Rest in peace, headphone users.
Yeah, if you can find a way to, like, just turn the audio down for a second, I might have gone overboard. But, like, that's how he sounded when he did it.
Yeah, he was yelling FEMA camps.
FEMA camps.
They're gonna take your guns.
They got a whole bunch of graves. They're just waiting to be put in if you own a gun or if you're a Christian, because this is the Christian apocalypse.
Yeah, it turns out, Obama's a Christian, and he didn't do jack shit for gun control, and he should have.
Should have, yes, but there was no chance. Even even with a mostly Democratic Senate, even with a supermajority, I don't think that even enough Democrats are willing to go down
It's
the rabbit
the
hole.
most popular position among United States citizens.
Yeah, but the people that oppose it have guns.
The people who oppose it are rich. That's what it is.
That's true, but the people that like oppose it on the ground have guns. And like, do you really want to be the person knocking on the door saying, "I need that gun"?
No.
I'm
I'm not saying he ever should have taken away guns. I'm not saying he ever should have ever considered taking away guns. I'm saying, like, he didn't, and the reason he didn't is because Congress is basically bought off by the NRA.
Oh, I mean, we live in an oligarchical society.
Call back to Money in Politics, by the way.
Yep, keep going. I just don't, I don't think you can I don't think you can really give, the legalization of gay marriage to Obama. I don't think you can call him out for not getting gun reform done because while gay marriage I think was always going to happen, gun reform was never. It was just personal opinion. Roast me for it.
I agree to disagree. I think there is a chance that we will get common sense gun reform sometime, not in the next 4 years, but maybe the 4 years after. Bernie.
Or Tulsi
We
Gabbard.
miss you, Bernie.
You want to get to those middle ground ones because one of them I don't even know about.
Okay. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
One.
Okay.
This is all you because I am uneducated on the subject to a T.
All right. So, he signed Dodd-Frank. Now, Dodd-Frank, for those of you who don't know, is the most watered down words getting away from me. Restrictions to Wall Street that that could have possibly happened. Basically, it said, you remember when Hillary Clinton said she went to Wall Street and said, "Hey, don't do that"?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what Dodd-Frank was. Now, there were laws signed in that actually restricted what they could do, but it was so watered down, so many loopholes, and it was immediately started being torn apart. Now, it's in the middle ground because it's better than nothing, but it's also not good at all.
When you say Wall Street regulation, I know what you mean. When you say Dodd-Frank, it just went over my head.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he did what I would expect from somebody that obeys Wall Street because of donations. And by the way, off-topic subject, but the Young Turks was talking about corruption in politics, and I don't think I would ever sell myself for a $200,000 campaign donation. That's a lot of money, but the current Ohio Mega Millions is $162 million. I don't think that $200,000 is enough to relieve me of my morals.
Yeah, I can't see that either. But when they're like, "Hey, every time you're up for re-election, we'll give you money, and all you gotta do is answer the phone," I can see where it'd be tempting. I wouldn't go for it, because I am a human being with morals.
Oh, that's because, Congress is designed to elect human beings without morals. I forgot. Thank God we have, Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard and Elizabeth Warren in Congress because we might have a chance. And also, Rand Paul, my dude.
Rand Paul, the only Republican that I would consider voting for.
Not a Republican. Libertarian.
Libertarian, but he runs Republican.
Because it's almost impossible to be in Senate without being in one of those two things.
Yeah, well...
And Republicans hate him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I disagree with him on a lot of things. But if it came down to him versus Hillary Clinton, I'd probably vote for him.
Knowing what I know now, might have voted for him over Obama. I'm
in 08 or 2012?
I'm saying in 2016. From what I know, Obama did.
Okay. All right. Maybe. I'm not.
I would have voted back then. I would have voted Democrat
because
regardless.
on the economy, he's very right wing. But on foreign policy, he is right on the ball.
Unpopular opinion. I don't care about the economy if the person has really, really strong progressive social issues. I'll let the economy slide. We can figure that out later. The social issues are what normally get me.
All right. He pushed for 2 years of free community college. That's on the middle ground because A, he didn't get it. B, he didn't push very hard. And C, should have done a lot more.
I believe, my fellow Americans, that 2 years of free college tuition at community colleges would be pretty cool.
That would be very cool.
And that's basically what he did.
Yeah, that's what he pushed for. He didn't get it. I think, by now you've realized we're both what would be considered Bernie bros by Hillary Clinton.
What a title.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
I mean, it was derogatory.
It was derogatory, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I supported Bernie Sanders.
I wish I could do a passing imitation of Bernie Sanders. This is off topic. I just think that'd be cool.
I am shit at imitations. So.
And the last thing that we have to talk about?
I think 4 years of free state college would have been very doable, and
44.
I just want to go on a little rant here. All right, if you even decrease the average cost of college, more people go to college, more people get degrees, and that helps the government because not only do we have a more educated workforce, but they're making more money on average, and you're getting more tax revenue on average.
Yeah, I mean, you get so rich and they stop taxing you.
Yeah, but
or you get to
not many people get that rich.
That's true. Or I mean, but like they stop taxing you if you get so rich. You get to evade taxes to the tune of 20 years and $918 million, and then nobody cares and you're president.
Yeah. Well.
Next podcast.
Can't tell. Next podcast on Trump. And last, but certainly not least, wow, my words, the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, you mean Romney Care? Hey.
Nixon Care.
Nixon Care. Here's a decent idea. Let's make it possible for everybody in America to get health insurance to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
And let's make it so if you have a pre-existing condition, you cannot be denied health care for that pre-existing condition. I have a better idea, right?
Well, wait. Let's start out. Obamacare was a big step in the right direction.
The Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act. Well, it's been branded Obamacare. But yes, it's the Affordable Care Act. It was a big step in the right direction. And we're going to talk about it more on the next podcast too. So,
but
strap in.
I mean, great step.
Great step. Not nearly far enough. He had a super majority at the time. He could have gotten single payer health care if he really wanted to,
I mean,
but he didn't.
He didn't. He probably gets money from insurance companies as well. I like the fact that everybody in America can be covered.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, not really, because it's still not cheap.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure that I like the fact that there's a mandate, which is forcing it to be more and more expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that... Well, I am sure. Nobody should pay for healthcare. That's what we have taxes for.
Yeah.
Taxes, the idea that as a society, we pool our money together to get shit done. And I think, like...
And then almost all of that goes to dropping bombs on people on the other side of the globe.
You will never probably meet the people that we need to drop the bombs for.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly isolationist.
Now,
I don't think...
I'm gonna say something right now. All right? We should put tax dollars towards socialized healthcare, socialized education. And obviously we're not going to, because look at the people who Donald Trump just appointed. But I'm going to say that that's a bigger issue than ISIS, because what sort of threat is ISIS really? Like, it's a threat, but not to us.
The threat of ISIS to America is the fact that the people who are supposed to represent us are going to drop bombs on places that are near them.
And piss them off.
And spend our tax dollars. That's the threat. ISIS is causing us to spend more tax dollars than we should. I like the fact that we have a standing military. I like being protected by the government. I'm willing to pay taxes for that. However, $44 trillion. You cut that by a third, right? And you spend a third of that. And everybody can go to college for free.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can get free healthcare.
I don't know if it's both for a third, but
I mean, that's
a lot of money.
Okay, fine. Cut it in half. You can have $22 trillion.
And you still have a bigger military budget than the next 10 countries combined.
You can. I will.
We currently have a bigger military budget than the next 30 countries combined.
I will give you $22 trillion to run the military. You can have it, right? And I'll give you another trillion to waste in the Pentagon because we love wasting money in the Pentagon. I just watched you turn slightly bluish with rage. That was cool. But you could have $23 trillion to spend on the Pentagon and defenses, and that'll be cool. Give me $21 trillion to figure out healthcare. Give it to Bernie Sanders. Give it to Elizabeth Warren. I guarantee we can get healthcare, free college education, and also buy every girl on a farm a pony.
Burma Supreme 2020. Ponies for everyone.
Ponies for everyone.
All right, so I'm gonna run through the list again. And we'll close out. All right. So,
do you want me to yay or nay? Or are you just gonna read?
For the big things, yay or nay.
Okay.
And just do woo or boo. Actually.
Woo or boo? Is that our thing?
Woo or boo.
Is that our thing? I like it.
I came up with that right now. All right. Immigration Executive Order.
Woo.
Keystone XL Pipeline.
Woo.
Dakota Access Pipeline.
Woo.
Offshore oil drilling.
Woo.
Bin Laden.
Woo.
Cut the deficit.
Woo.
Cut small business taxes.
Woo.
Actually, skip something. I just realized.
No. What did we skip?
Double the stock market, but that's not really an important thing.
Don't really care.
Yeah.
Those people can have money.
Raise taxes on the rich.
Yeah.
End of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Stem cell research.
Woo.
Gay marriage.
Woo.
Non-violent drug offenders.
You realize that my whole thing here is just like pretty much a string of woos. I'm just going to stop.
Yep. Iran deal. Cuba deal. Increased overtime. The GM bailout. Paris Agreement. Stimulus package. 12 million private sector jobs. Prevented depression. Condemnation of Israeli settlements in the UN. EPA.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
And then
we have the water crises. The infrastructure grade. Deportation record. Well, the war on drugs. TPP. Guantanamo Bay. The Wall Street bailout. Torture. The minimum wage. College costs. Israel and Saudi Arabia funding.
Yeah, boo.
Drone strikes.
Very boo.
Iraq and Afghanistan, and the other 5 countries we're at war in right now.
Such boo.
Money and politics.
Boo.
And gun reform.
Very boo.
And then we finally have...
Oh, by the way, thanks, Obama.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. Idiot. Then we got Dodd-Frank. Push for 2 years free community college. Didn't get it. And we have the Affordable Care Act. That's a list of things.
There's also some stuff.
I will say, most of them are positive. A lot of them are negative.
If I had to grade Obama as a president, since I'm a harsh person, I'd probably give him like a C. Like a flat C, not a plus or minus.
Like a flat C.
I think that for all of the good he did, any one of those bad things kind of starts to really outweigh it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he did a lot of good things. And then he did not as many bad things, but the bad things are really bad. Torture. I don't know if I would go... Torture, yeah.
He did the torture thing.
Yeah, he set that precedent, and now Trump can basically run rampant.
Yeah, we did. We also didn't talk about the, being able to spy on people and put them in jail for no reason. And repealing of habeas corpus. Those are, like, some bad things that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, those are really bad things that we didn't talk about. But we just sort of did talk about them. Yeah. Put those in the bad things category in your mind.
Or you could write them down.
Or you could write them down. I mean, take
notes. Pen and paper.
Take notes. I mean,
You don't
presidency's over, so
You don't know? We could have just written your college thesis.
we could have.
Probably not.
Probably not.
100% not.
You'll probably get busted for,
Or
plagiarism.
just rejected for a degree. You might fail.
We're not the most eloquent people.
We're pretty eloquent. We have words.
We have good words when we try.
We have the best
But
words.
we're just sort of chilling here talking. So, yeah, that was the Obama Sunset episode. Hope you enjoyed it.
All two of you.
All two of you.
We really do appreciate you guys listening to our incoherent ramblings.
If this gets more than 2 views, we need to pin a comment on the top. It's we were wrong.
We'll do a Q&A at 2 views. Be the shortest Q&A ever. How you guys doing? We're doing great. And that's all we have for you.
All right, it's official now. 2 views Q&A. Should we up that a bit? Maybe 2 subscribers Q&A?
Yeah, 2 subscribers.
2 subscribers.
You get a full Q&A. And that Q&A will probably just be us responding to your questions over DMs.
Yeah. So yeah, if you liked it, like it. Tell us in the comments what you like, because we're still not quite sure what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like.
What you want to hear about.
If you want to just shit on us for saying anything good about Obama or anything bad about Obama, leave it in the comments below. We'll read them.
And we'll cry, most likely.
Will we cry?
I
won't cry.
I might cry.
I might laugh a bit.
I'll take it really personally, and you might destroy me as a human being.
Yeah, leave a comment down below. If you like, subscribe. We're gonna plan on doing one of these every week or.
Hopefully, I mean, at least I want to do at least every week on the long ones. We'll see how this goes. All depends on what we feel. We're obviously not doing this for views or anything.
Yeah, we're just sort of doing this to vent. So, subscribe if you want, like if you don't. If you don't want to, don't do it. We're not your moms. And all right.